So basically the treatment plan that I'm on is I go in on a Friday. Every 2 Fridays I go in for treatment. I sit in the chair. I actually go tomorrow morning. I sit in the chair for 3 hours of infusion, but it's usually about 4 hours after they finally get the drugs going and stuff like that. Then they hook me up to this little ball through now my port, which you can't really see, which is like totally fine by me, but this thingy right here, they tap a needle into it, give me the chemo, and then they connect a ball that they send me home with. And on Sunday, I drive out to Walnut Creek, and they disconnect me. So I'm on it Friday, Saturday, Sunday until they disconnect me. So June 9th was my first disconnect from the chemo. This was on the PICC line at first. Now it's in the port, which I'll get to. And the port, it's so much easier than a PICC line. There are people who go on PICC lines for years, and I'm like, how did you do it? So fast forward July 3rd. We're making a big jump here from June 9th to July 3rd. That is when I finally got my PICC line removed. So I had it from June 6th to July 3rd. It was bad. I also had a PET scan that day. Jumping forward, June 25th. These are all important dates. That's why I've written them down. There's, of course, there are treatments in between this and stuff like that. But these are the dates that really stick out in my journey, and this is basically just an overview of my journey. So, June 25th, I get my port put in. That's another story. I got my port put in. It was a wonderful experience, actually. I was just so relieved to get the port put in. So actually I didn't get my July 3rd. I jumped so many dates. Oh fuck. June 25th I got my port put in. July 3rd I got my PICC line taken out. So the port had to heal before, like the port has to heal before I can get my PICC line taken out. So the port is basically in that little spot I showed you, and it's going into my heart. Yeah. July 3rd, PICC line taken out. July 15th. Oh, this whole situation just was horrible. I have an urgent care appointment because I have this horrible hemorrhoid. It was so bad for so long, and I would try this cream and it would work for like a few days, and I'd be like, oh my god, I'm cured, and then it would stop working and it would like burn my skin, and I'm like, why? And like all these problems, and it just won't go away, and like so the urgent care doctor examines me, gives me a couple prescriptions, and shoos me out. The next day, I have a palliative care appointment, which is, there's more about the hemorrhoids later. I have a palliative care appointment, which is about comfort, and is your treatment plan working for you? Are you happy with your doctors? And blah, 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 blah. They introduced me to the cancer support community in Walnut Creek, which has been a blessing. Oh my god, I love them so much. Everything's free. It's done by fundraising, and they put on group classes and yoga and therapy, and it's a beautiful thing, and I encourage anyone who can contribute to them because, or if you haven't heard of them, go to them. It's the cancer support community in Walnut Creek on McNutt. They are wonderful people, and they do wonderful things, and I go there for just like, they have fun stuff. Like, I'm gonna go do beading with people. I went to an essential oils thing, and it was really cool, and like, just anything that can get you out of your head. They offer couples counseling for people with cancer and caregivers. They had a caregiver session last month where it was like, what about me? I help people. I have a person who has cancer. Like, how do I get to be a part of this? And like, where does my say come in and stuff like that? Anyways, so palliative care, I need to check in with them more, but they're amazing. Again, female doctors that I had for my palliative care appointment, which was great, and they were also able to like help my parents and stuff if they need anything. It's the whole family is involved. Anybody, friends, family, palliative care is there for them. So July 18th, my oncologist orders a CT scan just to check on things. July 24th, I had an appointment with my new OBGYN because I wanted to update her, because basically I started chemo and I stopped ovulating. So I said, well, I don't need birth control if I'm not, so I wanted to just update her, like, on what's going on. I wanted to make sure that my body was okay, you know, because any form of infection or any little thing is so much bigger now. And also, she was my new OBGYN, and I wanted to meet with her, and she's just so amazing. And I cried, and she was supportive, and she was like explaining things to me, and so helpful, and like, you can do this to relieve this, and blah blah blah, and she's just amazing. I love her. July 26th, I had dumped my old physician because she pissed me off and ignored my needs. And that ended up, oh, that's the other thing. That ended up being a cancerous tumor. What my doctor shooed me out of the office for is cancer. So I was pissed. So I got a new physician, and these hemorrhoids are still causing me problems. So I meet with her, and I had taken pictures, because what would happen is they'd be like, well, I don't see anything. And I'm like, well, it comes out to say hello, and then pops back into its cave, if you will. I'm trying not to be super detailed here, but so I took pictures when I knew it was present, and she actually ended up seeing it, because at one point it was just there, and she was like, okay, yeah, like, this is a problem. She said, luckily it doesn't seem to be infected. She was able to explain why I was having so many problems with so many different products. It was because it was irritated. So she gave me some more medications and different instructions, and now she's my new physician, and she's amazing. She gets on, she says, we're gonna call surgery and get you with the surgeon to check this out, because, you know, I was like, I feel like I'm going insane, please help me. So, August 1st, I have an appointment with the surgeon, and he examines me and comes to the conclusion that it's actually a fissure that is the issue here. Prescribes some medication, one that I had to ship from Arizona, and it took like a week, and then finally I'm feeling relief. He explains everything, all the issues, and everything like that, and so, yeah, everything's great. I have this new miracle cream, and I'm feeling fine. He sets up an appointment for a follow-up with me, and I am on my merry way, and starting to feel better. On August 2nd, I met with my oncology dietitian, who is also a female, who is also amazing. She finally puts me on a diet plan that is gonna work. I had been told by the surgeon to be on fiber, so I ran out and grabbed fiber and all these foods with fiber and fiber 1 bars and fiber. She's like, no, you need to be on a low fiber diet. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, we're gonna put you on hydration. So I go in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and they pump me full of fluids to help me stay hydrated, which has really helped, especially with the summertime being so hot. It is hard for me to get fluids in and retain them. It took a lot of time, but my body finally adjusted to the diet, and I'm like, okay, and now I know what I can do, and I know how I can balance things and stuff like that. On August 17th, I had a trip to the ER because we thought that my chemo tubing was messed up, when it was indeed not. All of a sudden my husband looks and goes, it stops flowing like right here, and I'm like, what? And so, yeah, it's another story. I had a CT scan on August 24th. That was set up, that's July 18th, my doctor ordered a CT scan for August 24th because we wanted it out in the future, a couple months. She likes to do them a couple months out, and she schedules a follow-up for the 27th of August, and basically treatment is working, she thinks, just based on how my lab results are going, and all of my testing is going, but the liver masses have not shrunk, but they also haven't grown. So they've been stable. So she was like, I don't think this is a reason to jump up and change things drastically. I think your treatment is working. We're going to continue on. I had another CT scan the other day because things started to get really irregular. Still waiting on feedback from that, but it was only a couple days ago. So that's a little nerve-wracking, is just the waiting to hear from her about the results. And then this month, on September 30th, is when I follow up with the surgeon about the hemorrhoid problem. So that's basically my journey so far. A lot of rambling, a lot of things that sound pointless to bring up, but I think that a lot of people could benefit from me sharing what I plan on sharing in the future as well. And yeah, that's my story so far. We're just waiting to see what's in store for me. So if this catches any attention, I do plan on updating, and I have other ideas for other videos and stuff like that. So I will definitely, I'm definitely around now, and I want people to be able to hear my stories and maybe find solace for themselves. And I have a lot of advice for people who have similar problems that I do. Things that work, things that don't work. Everybody's different though. So, and I am not a medical professional. But, yeah. I wanted to share my journey so far, and this has been my journey so far.